Wally the walrus was a very big fellow. He lived in the cold, icy North Sea. His whiskers were long and droopy, and his tusks were long and strong. Wally loved to eat tasty clams. He would dive down to the seabed, then he would find the best ones. Wally was a happy, gentle walrus. He enjoyed napping on floating ice, and the sun felt good on his thick skin. Sharpie the shark was sleek and fast. He lived in the big, wide ocean. Sharpie had many sharp teeth. Most other fish were scared of him. They would swim away very quickly. Sharpie sometimes felt a little lonely. He wished he had a friend to talk to. He zoomed through the water all day looking for adventure, and maybe, just maybe, a friend. Wally spent his days near the ice. He would bellow loudly sometimes. It was a happy, walrus sort of sound. He watched the little fish swim by and saw the birds fly in the sky. The world was full of interesting things. Wally was curious about everything. He often wondered what was beyond his icy home. He dreamed of seeing new places, but he mostly stayed where it was cold. Sharpie swam in warmer waters mostly, but sometimes he explored new currents. He liked to see different parts of the ocean. One day a strong current pulled him. It pulled him north, far from his usual spots. The water started to get colder. Sharpie had never seen so much ice. He wondered what creatures lived here. He was a little nervous, but also excited. A new adventure was beginning for Sharpie. One sunny afternoon, Wally was napping on his favorite piece of ice. It was flat and very comfortable. He snored softly, a rumbling sound. Suddenly, a shadow passed under his ice. Wally opened one eye, then the other. What could that be, he wondered. He lifted his heavy head to look and peered down into the clear water. It was something big and gray. Sharpie saw a large shape above him. It was blocking the sunlight a little. He swam closer to investigate. He saw two long white things pointing down and a very large whiskery face. Sharpie had never seen a walrus before. He thought, my, what big teeth he has. He meant Wally's tusks, of course. Sharpie paused, a little unsure. He did not know if walruses were friendly. Wally looked down at Sharpie. He saw a fin cutting through the water and rows of pointy teeth. Goodness, Wally thought in surprise. That is a very big fish indeed. He had heard stories about sharks. The stories said sharks were scary. Wally felt a little bit frightened. He hoped the shark was just passing by. He tried to look brave, but it was hard. Sharpie decided to be brave too. He swam a little closer to the ice. "Hello up there," Sharpie called out. His voice was a bit bubbly in the water. Wally was surprised the shark spoke. "Oh, hello down there," Wally replied. His voice was deep and rumbly. "My name is Sharpie," said the shark. "I am Wally," said the walrus. They both stayed where they were, watching. Wally and Sharpie started to talk. Wally learned Sharpie was not so scary. Sharpie learned Wally was quite gentle. They were very different creatures, it was true. Wally liked the cold ice and air. Sharpie liked the flowing water. Wally ate clams from the bottom. Sharpie chased speedy fish for dinner. Their lives were not much alike, but they both liked making a new friend. One day, Wally was looking for clams, but the best clam beds were hard to find. He kept diving and finding only sand. "I am so hungry," Wally sighed sadly. Sharpie saw Wally looking glum. "What is wrong, Wally?" Sharpie asked. Wally explained about the missing clams. Sharpie thought for a moment, then smiled. "I can help," Sharpie said with a flick of his tail. He was a very good finder of things. Sharpie zoomed around under the water. His sharp eyes scanned the ocean floor. He could see things Wally might miss. Soon he spotted a big patch of clams. They were hidden under some seaweed. "Wally, over here," Sharpie called. Wally waddled to the edge of his ice and plunged into the water with a splash. Sharpie showed him the wonderful clams. Wally was very happy and grateful. Another time, Sharpie felt bored. Swimming fast was fun, but sometimes lonely. Wally was on his ice, watching the sky. "What do you do for fun up there?" Sharpie asked. Wally chuckled his rumbly chuckle. "I like to watch the clouds," Wally said. "They make wonderful shapes like stories." Sharpie tried to look up from the water. It was hard to see clouds from below. Wally described the fluffy sheep and dragons he saw. Sharpie listened, and it sounded like fun. Wally and Sharpie became the best of friends. They met every day at the edge of the ice. Sharpie would tell Wally about his ocean races. Wally would tell Sharpie about Arctic birds. They learned so much from each other. Sharpie learned that napping could be nice. Wally learned that swimming fast could be exciting. Sometimes Sharpie would gently push Wally's ice. He would give Wally a slow tour of the bay. Wally thought it was a grand adventure. Other sea creatures were surprised. A walrus and a shark being friends? It was a very unusual sight. But they saw how happy Wally and Sharpie were. Wally never worried about Sharpie's teeth. Sharpie never thought Wally's tusks were scary. They saw the kindness in each other. They laughed together a lot. Wally's bellow and Sharpie's bubbly chuckle. It was a happy sound in the sea. Their friendship made the ocean brighter. It showed everyone something important. It showed that friends can be different. You can look different and live differently. You can like different things too. But a kind heart is a kind heart. And that is what truly matters most. Friendship is a special kind of magic. It can grow anywhere, even between a walrus and a shark. Their bond was strong and true. Wally and Sharpie knew their friendship was special. They would always be there for each other. One was big and slow, with mighty tusks. The other was sleek and fast with pointy teeth, but together, they were just Wally and Sharpie, the best of friends in the big blue sea. They proved that differences are not walls. Differences can be bridges to new adventures. And new friendships, the most wonderful adventure of all. Their unlikely story made everyone smile.